the agreement to raise the debt ceiling last year, Congress agreed to a sequestration, which will lead to $1.1 trillion of automatic spending cuts to defense and non-defense spending starting in January, unless Congress acts to prevent them. An analysis done by the Center for Regional Analysis at George Mason University predicts that these tax cuts could cost the economy more than 2 million jobs nationwide, including more than 60,000 alone in Massachusetts. If elected, do you think Congress should allow those cuts to take place? And if not, what should we do to deal with the debt problem?
Thank you very much for the question, Dr. Wise. I believe that we're seeing no leadership coming out of the White House right now, and for this reason, it looks like we're headed towards a fiscal cliff that we've been hearing a lot about. Look, I believe that people are not spending, people are not creating jobs because taxes are too high. Now, we do not have a revenue problem in this country, we have a spending problem. And until our spending comes under control, I'm not willing to raise taxes on anyone, be it business, be it individuals. That's why I believe we should extend the Bush tax cuts immediately. So again, this is another piece of giving visibility to the businesses and to the working men and women of this state and this country. So I believe that if we can get this economy growing again, revenues will come back. We will see an increase in revenues by a growing economy, and we'll see this debt load and our deficits begin to decline.
We need jobs. We need to get it going. It needs to happen now. We're all in agreement on that. There is a spending problem in Washington, D.C., and unless Congress and the elected officials that we send there take the lead, we're not going to get control of it. I've stated on numerous occasions that I believe that Congress should pass a 20% cut across the board for the federal government, for the employees, especially for the Congress and the Senate. This sets an example. If we couple that with the regulations, yes, they take time, but if we couple that with regulations, that's fine. That is what's needed to create jobs. I don't see the need for a president to go and do more executive orders. The executive orders are supposed to be to take legislation passed and go forward. I don't see why Mitt Romney's any better at it than Barack Obama. Because we're going against what the rule of law is and what we're supposed to be. So we have to do it. If the Congress is going to be the group that's going to be the legislative arm and they're going to set the example, we have to set the example. We have to cut our pay and that of our departments. And that will spur jobs because the private sector will understand that we're serious, finally, about not driving off a cliff. We're serious about not kicking the can, as they say, down the road. That has to happen.
I think the quickest way that we can look towards cutting spending is, the General Accounting Office about 6 months ago came out and did an audit of 1/3 of the budget, the federal budget, where they found $200 billion in duplicative services. And I would argue that if you were to go ahead and audit the entire federal budget, there's a very good chance you could find $600 billion in savings doing a straight line progression on that. If you take $600 billion away in duplicative services, that's about a 15% cut right across the board of the federal budget.
We're getting close to the right number. $600 billion is a lot of money. But we're talking about trillions that we get. Right now, it's important that everybody understand, and I know we do, we collect in revenues or confiscated wealth, however you look at it, $2.5 trillion a year. All that covers are entitlements, interest on the debt, pensions for the federal government. That's it. The other 42 cents on the dollar to pay for government itself, to pay for our military, to pay for all the executive branches and stuff, we borrow that.